Hi, welcome back to another vlog travelling around East Asia, and today I'm flying from Hong Kong to Taipei. After checking into my hostel, a group of us went out to the night markets that are famous to get some food. Not gonna lie, they're a bit more empty than I thought, which was actually a bit of a running theme in Taipei. It was cool though, and the city really does feel like a mix of Chinese, Japanese, and modern Korean influences, with its own identity in the mix. The next day I woke up to check out some antique markets that I'd heard a lot about, the first one being the Chongqing Bridge Flea Market. I took a very bumpy bus ride and was let off at the side of a random road. It's so hot in Taipei that a lot of these markets are actually held under overpasses in order to give them a nice shaded, protected area. This did mean, however, that the market was very hard to find, and I spent ages just wandering along and crossing over motorways in the heat. Anyway, I finally made it to the market. It had some cool stuff, just maybe less genuine antiques than I was hoping for. I then went to go visit the Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall. This was really interesting because, as well as being a cool monument to Chiang Kai-shek, it also serves as a museum inside for a lot of modern Taiwanese history. Taiwan, as an island, has a long history of buffeting between larger powers. It was first colonized by the Dutch in the 17th century. A Chinese Ming leader then conquered the island as the Manchu Qing forces conquered China from the north, before taking the island themselves in 1683. The island was ceded to Japan after the First Sino-Japanese War in 1895, becoming a starting point for Japan's colonial mission, only being given back to China in 1945 after the Japanese defeat. In 1949, Chiang Kai-shek's Kuomintang lost to Mao Zedong's communists in the Chinese Civil War, so his forces fled to Taiwan, setting up the Republic of China as a counter-government in Taipei to Mao's rule in Beijing. It was not until the 1990s that the government in Taipei gave up their claim to mainland China. Chiang Kai-shek is a really interesting figure, and the museum has loads of his personal items. He led the nationalist forces in China as its wartime leader against the Japanese and subsequently against Mao Zedong in the Civil War. While remembered for his role in reuniting China under nationalist rule and resisting the Japanese, his government was also plagued by corruption and ruled Taiwan under a regime of authoritarian control and prolonged martial law. The museum that is also a memorial to him actually does highlight both the repression of his regime and celebrates the protests and success of the democracy movement, which is really interesting to see in a memorial like this. I got the lift to the top of Taipei 101. It's a concession ticket of 540 Taiwanese dollars to look at the view. There are no windows in this place, so I'm convinced you actually have to pay £12 to, more than that, to look at the view. I then tried to visit the Sun Yat-sen Memorial Hall. Chiang Kai-shek was the successor to Sun Yat-sen, the nationalist leader who overthrew the Qin dynasty, establishing the Republic of China. The hall, however, was sadly closed. Walking around town, I found loads of Norwegian flags in the shop. I was trying to work out what the product they were selling was, but the guy didn't understand what I was saying. I then went for a wee hike up Elephant Hill. It was very hot and steep, but it offered amazing views of the city and of Taipei 101, this time for free. There was also some really nice temples and recreational areas at the top, so I definitely recommend a visit. I went back down to go meet up with my friends from the hostel again before we went out to another night market. This time it was a bit better and busier. The next day I went to go visit the Jianguo Holiday Day Market, again under an overpass. This market was really cool and had some really cool pieces. It was enormous and such a cool mix, and some really friendly vendors and sellers as well. So I definitely recommend a visit to this market, and I got some really cool jade earrings. I then went on a crazy little adventure around the outskirts of Taipei. I was trying to find some shops that my phone had told me to go to, but I was just being taken to the most random areas and it was kind of weird. I also needed to go find a pharmacy, but eventually I just went back to go get some dinner and then get ready because I had quite an early flight to Manila in the morning. And a word of warning, there are no good cheap food options in Taipei airport, so be careful.